Hi guys, Oxy the Virgo here. Welcome to my channel, and today I want to share with you guys the 3 misconceptions that I feel like mamas have nowadays, and the misconceptions that I personally gone through as well. So let's get into it. First misconception is lack of sleep. So I feel like that's a very, very common misconception that we have as new moms, or as, moms to be, or those that are pregnant right now. I feel like we just read and we hear so many stories from everybody else around us, and it happened to me too, where you hear other people saying, like, sharing their experiences and saying, hey, like, my baby doesn't sleep at night, so I'm always tired. I'm never getting enough sleep because my baby keeps waking up and I have to attend to my baby, and it's just like, so frustrating, because also during the day your partner, your husband, probably like tends to go to work, so you have to stay with the baby and you don't have a chance to sleep, right? So I was thinking like that as well at the beginning. Before I had my baby, I was thinking, you know what, I was kind of burying myself, like preparing myself for it, right? Knowing that, mind you guys, I love to sleep. Like before I had my daughter, it was just, I love sleeping. My husband, on the other hand, he's like a very early bird. He wakes up early and he can go to bed very late, and it's fine for him. Like it works for him. For me, I'm the complete opposite of that. So before I had my baby, I was thinking, you know what? Oh my God, that's going to be a big sacrifice, because, when you have a baby, babies don't sleep, and it was not like that, So I feel like it's in a sense that yes, you will have less sleep because you have another human in your life, right? You have a baby. Of course, babies, they have needs, and you have to attend to your baby. But it's not necessarily that you are going to be always tired and you're going to always be like short on sleep. The way that I was managing it is, I would basically, so at night, my baby, she used to have like hard time sleeping on her own, and we were putting her in the crib and she wouldn't sleep. So we basically ended up putting her with us in bed. And that worked out really well. So we realized that she sleeps well in bed. So we just thought, you know what, why don't we put her in bed? Like, mind you, at the beginning we were like, we wouldn't do that. We were like, before I had my baby, we were talking that, with my husband, and saying that we would never put our baby in bed with us, because it's difficult to transition them after, and it's just such a big inconvenience, right? And you don't have privacy. Like, there's just so many things. But after all of that, we just like, you know what, we tried it and it worked great. I could sleep, she could sleep, and it was just working out for both. And so we went with that, and I was getting sleep at that time, like, mind you, she still wake up at night, would wake up, and I would feed her or change her diaper, and then I would put her back in bed with us, and she would sleep again until around 7:30, 8 a.m., which was great. When she was smaller, of course, when you have a baby, she would wake up and go to sleep, wake up and go to sleep, right? Like, so you'd have like these kind of like intervals as your baby is sleeping. Ladies, young mamas, my big advice to you: when your baby sleeps, go to sleep. Even if it's 15 minutes, even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's an hour, whatever it is, drop everything, go to sleep, because this is your time to recharge. Whenever the baby is awake, you can do your chores, you can cook, eat, whatever it is you need to do. But please try to sleep when your baby is sleeping. It helped me so much, because you just feel overwhelmed and exhausted when you have a baby, right? Especially as a new mom, and if you don't have too much help, or too many family members or whatever, like if it's just you and your baby, then you do need that extra time to just relax. And the best time is when your baby sleeps, and that's what I was doing with mine. I would put her to sleep, and then as she's sleeping, even if it's just a power nap on the couch or a power nap in bed, it depends where I would put her to sleep, I would basically go to sleep with her, right? And it helped a lot. So I feel like it's a big misconception that we kind of have, because it's not necessarily the case. I feel like it doesn't have to be. All the babies are different, and whatever you pre-program yourself, you know, like whatever you kind of look at it from at the beginning, like that's how it's going to be. So don't feel stressed about it. There's so many different ways you can work around a little bit of different sleeping schedule, you know, a sleeping pattern. And actually another thing, we use this baby drops. So when my baby, there are times when she's teething, or you know, she's a little bit like agitated for whatever reason, and we need to kind of calm her down. There's these drops that we've purchased. I'm gonna put a picture up after for you guys to see, but they're actually natural drops, and they're so great. They work great with her. We give her just like one time, you give her whatever the dosage is that they recommend, right? We give her once and she goes to sleep. It calms her down. So those are like, let's say you have a worst case scenario, right, where you've tried everything and your baby's not sleeping and you're so stressed out about it. Try different methods like we do. We use those drops and it helps her. She sleeps peacefully, it calms her down and relaxes her. So it works really well. And it's just basically chamomile that's in these drops. So it's just like concentrated chamomile. That's why it calms them down, the babies down, you know. So yes, but it definitely doesn't have to be like that, mama. So don't stress out. There are ways around it. And yeah, if you guys have any questions regarding to that, just please put it in comments, and I'll get back to you guys in regarding like my experience with my baby, right? What we use and how we work that out. All right, misconception number 2 is that your life is over. Another thing that, you know, I feel like it's just so common that mamas talk about it, of how you have a baby. You know, you kind of like, we have this idea that, okay, before I have my baby, I have to get everything done in my life. So I have to like party and travel the world and drink and whatever it is, right? Go out and just have fun, basically. And then when you have your baby, you kind of have to settle down, and that's practically your life comes to an end. You know, it's you can travel, everything just becomes so much much harder. But I feel it's also not the case. You know, it might probably in some cases, perhaps it's like that, but it doesn't have to be like that again. So you can have a baby, like, again, before we had our baby girl, we always said to each other, you know, when we have our baby, she is not going to change our schedule. So she's going to have to adapt to what our schedule is, you know, because if you have 1, 2, 3 babies and then you try to adapt to their schedule, like it just becomes a mess. You basically stop living your life, you know, like how can you even exist like that? It just becomes so much harder, you know, and so overwhelming. So we've decided that that's not going to be the case with us, that whatever we're doing, we're just going to bring her along, you know. And then if it's something that, I don't know, that we do and she can't go and participate with us, then we're just going to ask a family member to babysit her for a few hours. And that's exactly what we did. So we've never stopped doing what we did. We love to go for drives, for to go eat out, you know, for walks. And she would come with us from like very, I don't know, like the first week she was born. We actually started already slowly going out with her, going for walks, and yeah, she would come everywhere with us. So please, mamas, don't think that your life is over. It's really not. Just bring your baby along. You know, sometimes we even like, we're the type of parents that we don't really have a set schedule for her, so we kind of have a routine that we follow. So before bed she would have her bath, and then we'd give her a bottle, and then she'd go to sleep. But there are times when you go to your family members, right? You have a family event and you're having so much fun, and you don't want to cut that short at like 6-7 p.m. and say, no, that's it, I have a baby, so I have to go. Like that, you're not living your life in that case, you know. And it can sort of build up in you. If you're not satisfied with that, eventually you're going to get so frustrated that you're just not going to be happy with yourself. You're not going to be happy with your family, with your life. It just builds up in you, you know. So you need to still live and enjoy things. And your baby is fine as long as your baby is fed, your baby's got clean diaper, you can take them with you. They can sleep in the stroller, or if you're at your relative's house, they can sleep in bed or blankets or whatever the case is, right? Like, you can put your baby to sleep in different places. It doesn't have to be their set crib and that's where they sleep, so that's exactly what happens with us. There are times when we go out and we're having a good time with family, and she just skips the bath time because we're out, and it's okay. We still bring her home. Let's say she falls asleep in the car, we bring her home. I just change her diaper, put her in her PJs, and she goes to sleep, and she sleeps until the morning. Like, it's perfectly fine. And I feel like it's not necessary to even put that pressure on yourself that, like, no, that's like, I have to absolutely have to give bath to my baby, and that's the schedule. Like, I just feel like it's putting too much pressure on you guys. So definitely that's what we kind of do. It works for us. Might not work for everybody, but that's my advice to you guys. Don't stress about it. Just go with the flow. If the bath time is not happening or something is not happening because you're having a good time, enjoy yourself, have a good time, and then as long as you create that comfort for your baby, they're going to be just fine. So yeah, that was misconception number 2. And misconception number 3 is that living by the book. I feel like we're so used to, and I don't blame us, because nowadays we live in an era of technology, right? You go on your phone, you Google things, the information is right there and then, that one doctor said this and another research said this, and there's just so much information out there. And then we read books about how, like, I was reading one about, like, how do you, like, I don't remember the exact title, but it's basically what to expect when you have a baby, right? It's like this, the first year of you having a baby, and it's like a guide, it's like this detailed steps of how your baby is gonna be, and how your baby is gonna behave, and what your baby is gonna eat. It's just so detailed. And then as I was reading it, I was thinking, but wait a minute, what if my baby doesn't do certain things at the age that they tell you that your baby is supposed to do? Like, as a parent, I reading that information and you sort of relying on that, right? You would probably feel so stressed and worried that your baby is not the same as every other baby, or like maybe not developing accordingly. But let me tell you guys, I feel like every baby is so different. Like, don't compare your baby to any other babies, because, like, I mean, if your baby is 2 years old, right, like that's an exaggeration, but let's say your baby is 2 year old and they don't have teeth or something else, like, okay, maybe you can consult doctor and see what's going on. But it's not necessary for you to go by the book all the time, just because it doesn't work for some people. Yes, it might work for others, but it doesn't work for every baby. For me personally, I was reading, and there's a lot of things that I wasn't agreeing with, just because my baby is different. I don't feel that that your doctor or any other person, when they talk about babies, like, they don't feel your baby. You personally, you have that connection with your baby, and you know best what works for them and what doesn't. And yes, it's good to follow probably the guidelines, but I don't feel that you need to put that pressure on you and that stress and worry of, like, living by the book and doing those exact steps. In our case, like I said, it didn't work with my baby. I was reading the steps, like I was kind of reading every month of her development and what to expect. And she started walking when she was ready to walk, not when the book said she was ready to walk. Her teeth started, like, she started teething when she was ready to teeth, right? And not when the book says that, okay, from this month to this month, this tooth is supposed to come out. So there's just so many things that I understood. You know what? When my baby is ready to do things, that's when she's gonna do things. Because kids, babies, they're such incredibly intelligent little humans that we just question, like, oh yeah, they don't understand us, or they just too little. No, they pay attention to little things, and they come with so many, like the way they're, like the way human bodies just created, it's incredible. And the way babies are, it's like they just kind of like, they're born with everything in them already, right? They're so intelligent that at a certain point of time, whenever they're ready, things just start to come out, teeth and first words, and like they crawl, they lift up their neck. It's just like, it's beautiful. There's just so many things that they do, and it comes in them, right? So mamas, don't stress out if your baby doesn't follow those certain timelines of the book. It's okay. It's okay for your baby, you know, to have more teeth than other baby at the same age. It's okay for your baby not to walk at the same age as other babies do. Just remember that your baby is individual, your baby is unique, and your baby is gonna grow and develop according to whatever timelines they feel like they're ready to do certain things, right? So don't stress out about it. Don't fall for those misconceptions. It's very different, you know, when you actually experience it, and it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's not what I expected it to be. You know, I thought like it would be a lot different, but it wasn't. Just like in my case, I thought so many things would change, but no, it really didn't. It's more of like the way you, I guess, adapt yourself to, because now, okay, now I have a baby, so it's different. Of course it's different because you have a baby, you're mom now, or you're a parent now, right? But it doesn't have to be a drastic change. You can still function normally just with your little human next to you. So once again, mamas, don't stress out about it. Enjoy this beautiful process of motherhood, you know. Enjoy them while they're little. They just grow up so fast. And yeah, and another one for you guys. I hope this was useful. My personal opinion, guys, onto, you know, as I'm also a young mom, and I'm kind of, as I'm going through it, I'm sharing it with you guys. And I hope this was useful. And thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye.